Everybody who's listening right now is going to struggle with the concept because they're bringing their internet brain to the blockchain.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Weather Channel. My name is Zach. In this video, we're looking at GaryVee speaking on the Chris Fade Show on radio, speaking about NFTs and going over the right click save stuff.
We hear this word NFT.
Yes.
We think we understand it, or some of us have absolutely no idea.
Or a big part of people think it's a scam and it's a fad.
And it's coming up on influencers, social media sites, and you're like, well, I'm not going to get into this. People laugh. Oh, you're doing NFTs. You have really shown the world, and you've pioneered it in your platform of 9 million just on Instagram alone, of what NFTs can do and how they can operate. Can you explain to someone right now, and I know you have been asked this question before, explain in basic terms what an NFT is?
Let me say this before I answer that question. Everybody who's listening right now is going to struggle with the concept because they're bringing their internet brain to the blockchain. Okay. Let me say that one more time. The blockchain is such a different platform than the internet that when I tell you that what an NFT is it's a digital asset that you own, most people don't understand that because they're like, well, that doesn't work on the internet. I can right click and save the image.
Yeah, sure.
So the same way that in 1994, 5, 6, when I told people that people would buy wine on the internet and everybody who was 20, 30, 40, 50 thought that was stupid, most people who think NFTs are stupid don't realize that they've become their mom and dad and grandparents. Yeah. Just like they thought the internet was stupid, email was stupid, the iPhone was stupid, social media was stupid, online dating was stupid. People don't realize that they are missing the boat on this technology. But the answer to your question is an NFT.
Before we get into the answer to the question, I think one thing that's really important to notice here, and I think Gary maybe does believe this, but doesn't in the same way as he is talking about, is when he says about missing the boat on it, it doesn't mean necessarily that the world's going to end if you don't learn how to use the technology. In the same way that you can in fact still live in the modern world without even being able to use Google or the internet or even a computer properly. So it's not a case of the world ends, it's just a case of, do you want to be early on the next thing that's happening or do you not want to be?
Is a non-fungible token, which is a digital asset that you actually own. And when people say, well, why would I want to own something digitally? I'd need to hold it. Well, a lot of people who are driving right now want a blue check mark on their Instagram account, and guess what? You don't hold that. Yeah. A lot of people want 10 million followers on social media. You don't hold that. A lot of people live their life to take photos on the internet. You don't hold that. We are living a digital life, and if you have children that are buying skins on Fortnite.
Both my kids love buying skins.
Well, guess what? That's a digital asset. And as we go more digital, your clout, your status, your need to communicate is happening more digitally than it's happening in real life. People do things just for a photo on social media. It's human psychology. Last of all, it's a smart contract, meaning the digital asset can also mean something on the back end. So for example, I have a huge business conference in Minnesota in May called VCon. It's like a South by Southwest Coachella of business. And the only way you can get in is if you own a VFriend. Wow. It is the ticket.
Right. You're also opening up the first NFT restaurant in the world.
That's right, Flyfish Club, which will open.
Before we look at the restaurant really quickly, I want to point out that what he's talking about with VCon, it already applies with stuff like Coachella, for example, where you don't necessarily have to have an NFT to be able to get into Coachella, but they are doing a lifetime passes now where you also get certain different experiences when you go to the event that wouldn't otherwise be unlocked if you didn't have one of the NFTs. It's about necessarily proof of ownership when you're trying to be admitted somewhere.
Open next year, early next year in New York City.
Can I get membership?
If you buy it.
That's why he's so rich.
But it's super interesting. It's super interesting. A lot of people right now, especially in this town, they pay for a membership, country clubs, Soho House, all these things, but you pay. You don't own an asset. With NFTs, your membership is an NFT, but if you decide after 3 months you don't want to come anymore, you put it on the blockchain and you sell it. It's creating a world where your access or your membership becomes an asset, not an expense.
I understand that.
So think about that.
So but the NFT restaurant that you're opening up, it's not a physical restaurant.
Oh, it's a physical restaurant.
I'll be able to walk into this thing.
Yeah, this is not the metaverse, which I think is much further away than people think. I don't think we're living in VR. And people mix metaverse and NFT. They're separate things.
That's also important with the metaverse though, because realistically, when people oftentimes look at the metaverse that we have right now, they judge that by the final product, when realistically, what you're looking at is something a lot more fleshed out than what you see with these 3D games that just don't look great.
It's a physical restaurant that is going to be wildly premium, large location, highly in demand, that the NFT is just your membership. And so that will open in Q1 of next year.
I'll wait for it. GaryVee in the studio once again.
With that being said, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. That was Gary speaking on, of course, what an NFT is, why will people care about it, and it's not necessarily something that people need to care about right now. Like, it's about when people want to get on social early to, of course, essentially build a lot of stuff. People say how they wish they got onto YouTube earlier, Twitter earlier, etc., because that's where the perceived lesser competition is realistically over time as things become saturated. It's also because there's a lot more people on this, so there will be many more opportunities coming up in Web3. As we saw with the internet, you didn't have the billion-dollar opportunity that you have now with the internet. That being said, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. This is the Web3 channel, covering everything happening from crypto, NFT, metaverse news, for anything and everything on the list. Make sure to subscribe. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you in the next Web3 video.